TP9 Elite Combat Executive is the newest model of the venerable Canik line imported by Century Arms. This pistol marks the second installment in the Elite Combat line, a collaboration between Canik and Salient Arms. The project seeks to enhance the capabilities of the Elite line of Canik handguns by providing optics-ready capabilities and compatibility with muzzle equipment with the addition of a 4.7-inch extended threaded barrel. This firearm is very similar to its predecessor, the Elite Combat, with only a few minor changes. First off, the color scheme. Black with a gold barrel over the Elite Combat's tan on black. Although I have told Century Arms that they should offer both guns in a multitude of finishes. Please send off in the comment section down below if you have an opinion on that. Previously, the Eurotrash 13.5x1 left-hand thread pitch was used because it was a European import and they didn't ask. The Combat Executive, by contrast, comes threaded 1/2x28, like all the suppressors in the United States. Yes, I have an attitude about that, because, well, I told them so. Because America first. Just like its predecessor, a beefy steel construction thread protector is included for when it is not in use. This is in stark contrast to, say, Glock, who ships a plastic non-threaded protector with their factory threaded pistols. You can guess how long those last. While the pistol is not equipped with raised suppressor sights, the optics-ready capability is fairly simple to use. Simply remove the two screws in the rear of the slide and pull the iron sight plate. Then, select the appropriate optics plate for the optic you wish to use and install it. Because I refuse to participate in the optics on self-defense pistols fad that's going on right now, we will be shooting irons for the duration of the video on principle. While we're on the topic of accessories, the pistol comes with a plethora of kit including a hard case, paddle holster, interchangeable back straps, a trigger lock, and some other odds and ends. Standard capacity for this pistol is the 15-round variant of the Canik magazine, although it does come with an extended 18-round magazine, which brings it up to the standard capacity for a full-size Canik. It is forwards compatible with the 18-round standard capacity Canik magazines. Other bells and whistles include a flared magwell, loaded chamber indicator, firing pin indicator, extended magazine release, and extended slide release for those of you people who use those things. Alrighty guys, chronographic data time. 10 rounds of Fiocchi 115 grain. Alrighty guys, well, will it suppress? If you guys remember back to our original video on the TP9 Elite Combat, we had some issues with suppression. And during that video, we discussed the ramifications of having an incorrect thread pitch and a modular US can. And pretty much as far as I know, I can't think of any off the top of my head that are non-modular 9mm cans that are compatible with pistols. You might be able to get fixed barrel ones that are sealed, but for the most part, the cans that you are going to get are going to be user serviceable and modular for your 9mm variety. So we have the Griffin Optimus, which is actually fresh back from repair from the last time we shot this on a Elite Combat. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow. 15 rounds of a Fiocchi 158 grain subs. Let's see if it'll run it. Here we go. Alrighty guys, well there it ran it just fine. We'll check, it's a little hot to check, see if there's any damage. Of course, if there's any damage to the can, we'll let you guys know. But one of the things that I had to ding these guys for last time was the lack of suppressor sights, and I'll get a close one in there for you guys. But basically, this gun is not set up to be suppressed. But if I'm a little bit honest, that's fairly nitpicky on my part, because I mean, pretty much these days, no handguns are coming with raised suppressor sights from the factory. There are a few exceptions to that rule, but pretty much you're gonna have to retrofit your gun for suppression after the fact. Go ahead and take this one off. And I have a second 9mm can here that is probably gonna offer just a little bit more suppression. This is the Obsidian 9 from Rugged Suppressors. It's a little bit lighter as well. We'll go ahead and throw it on here. An additional 15 rounds of Fiocchi 158. Let's see how she does. Alrighty guys, well it looks like the TP9, let's see, we did get a little bit of rotation, but not nearly as bad as we were getting before. Alright guys, so we've talked about the thread pitch on this thing being 1/2 by 28, and kudos to Canik for listening to the feedback cans on the US market, and muzzle devices and 9mm 4 pistols come threaded 1/2 by 28. The only thing that I would say that I would improve upon what they've done here as far as threading the barrel is concerned is they left some artifacts over from their European roots as far as the manufacturing is concerned. This is the old Canik Elite Combat that had the European thread pitch, the metric thread pitch. And you can see if you look at this thing that we've got a taper here. There is a major diameter, a minor diameter, and an intermediary diameter, and that works with the pistons on European threaded cans. Well, when they did the American thread pitch in 1/2 28, they also left that artifact in this thread pitch as well. So again, you can see that there is a major diameter, a minor diameter, and an intermediate diameter. That is incorrect for manufacture of barrels that should be fitted with cans in the United States. We want a solid 90-degree shoulder that goes from the minor diameter to the major diameter so that we get maximum surface area contact between the can mount and the barrel, so that we don't have that piston unthreading during fire and potentially damaging the can. So simple change, a little bit more milling there, Canik. This may be a Salient snafu. It does have Salient written on top of the barrel, so I would assume this is their barrel. Salient should know better, and they should not have done that. So if you look at any piston for any 1/2 28 can manufactured in the United States, you will not see a shoulder to index that. That is mostly on European thread pitches.
Rotated about a 1/4 turn.
That's a function of the shoulder not being cut right. You can see that they didn't cut the gutter out, so it doesn't come all the way up against the shoulder. There's kind of like this pseudo shoulder in there, and that keeps that precision machine mount from being able to suck up against the shoulder. Okay, so we're going to see how the Canik plays with a little wet can action. So this is just standard tap water that I filled up in a, not sponsored by Dr. Pepper, although I suppose I would take their money, but This is not how you wet a can, by the way. It's usually just a couple cc's, but I put extra in there just to see what the Canik will do, because this is testing. So there we go. We now have a wet can. Okay. And here we go. Wet. It's amazing how pleasant that is. You get a little bit more gunk, like you can probably see it on my face and on my fingers and stuff there. You get a little bit more gunk and the gun gets dirtier faster. But man, I tell you what, that's the short configuration wet is probably comparable to the full length can out of the Obsidian. So keep that in mind, guys, when you're suppressing your Canik. Begin. Gotta hit it. Got it. Miss. That was close. Miss. Got him. Moving on. Hit. Got him. On the move. On the move. Hostage. Miss. 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 How many chances does the hostage get? Well, good. All right, you killed him. All right, moving on. And around the world. Wow, that was a good shot. Changing it up a little bit, Bacon running her backwards, giving them all one, bringing it back for a second one. Near flawless performance there, boss. I have to admit, I thought you were going to expend at least 70 or 80% of the ammo we brought today. Okay, you finally did connect with, you chipped it there at the end.
Yeah. Well, we've discussed this topic before. What this really boils down to is just the sighting system needs some work. And you could really fix it one of two ways. You could make the slot in the rear sight smaller, or you could make the front sight larger. It's just when you go to line up, there's a lot of air on either side of the sights. And that little tiny fiber optic dot really doesn't help you get everything centered up.
Yeah, there's just some ambiguity downrange. And even up close, like you missed that thing.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Yeah, but you can think you've got them aligned and them not be properly aligned because there's so much breadth.
Continuing on with the sights that we were talking about down on the other range, when we look at this pistol, this is a $700 pistol. And in that price bracket, you come to expect a lot of what we would consider standard features. In that price bracket, we have another handgun, which we'll really use as the gold standard for a service pistol since the Army just adopted it. This is a Sig Sauer M17. When you look at the sights, the rear sight is about the same diameter, groove-wise, as the sight on the Canik. However, the front sight is much wider to really fill in that ambiguity and give you a nice solid square sight picture. The other thing that you have to look at in the $700 price range, tritium is a standard feature. If you're paying $700 for a handgun, it should have tritium sights. This sight has an exposed piece of fiber optic, which it requires so that when light hits it, it can shine. if you hit this off of something, you can actually snap that and that will fall out. And you'll see a lot of guns used to have fiber optics and the fiber itself is missing just because it got broken and fell out.
Alrighty guys, well, that's our look at the TP9 SF Elite Combat Executive. Thanks for joining us here today on the VSO Gun Channel. Hopefully we'll see you guys on a future video.